In 2008, Tesla was just days away from bankruptcy, not months, not weeks, days. The company had almost no cash left, production was a mess, investors were losing confidence, and employees didn't know if they'd still have jobs after Christmas. Today, Tesla is worth hundreds of billions of dollars and changed the entire automotive industry. But what most people don't realize is that Tesla didn't nearly die once, it almost died 3 separate times, and each crisis was more dangerous than the one before. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how close Tesla came to disappearing forever and why one phone call on Christmas Eve may have saved the company. Tesla's first near-death experience happened before most people had even heard of the company. Back in 2003, Tesla wasn't a giant automaker. It was a tiny startup founded by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning with an ambitious goal: prove that electric cars could be desirable. At the time, electric vehicles were widely considered slow, boring, and impractical. Most major automakers weren't taking them seriously. Tesla believed they could change that. But there was one problem. Building cars is incredibly expensive. You need factories, engineers, suppliers, testing, manufacturing equipment, and years of development. For a startup, the costs were almost unimaginable. That's when a young entrepreneur named Elon Musk entered the story. In 2004, Musk led Tesla's Series A funding round, investing $6.5 million and becoming chairman of the board. That investment kept Tesla alive. But it didn't solve the bigger problem. The company was burning cash much faster than expected, and the vehicle that was supposed to launch Tesla into the future was turning into a financial nightmare, the Tesla Roadster. The original plan seemed simple enough. Use a Lotus chassis, add a revolutionary battery pack, and create the world's first desirable electric sports car. But almost everything went wrong. Engineering challenges piled up, costs exploded. Development took far longer than expected. The Roadster was initially expected to cost around $92,000. Some internal estimates eventually exceeded $140,000 per vehicle. The company kept spending money it didn't have. And by 2007, tensions inside Tesla were reaching a breaking point. Leadership disputes led to the departure of CEO Martin Eberhard. Multiple executives came and went. Investors grew increasingly nervous. The company had technology, the company had vision, but it still didn't have a sustainable business, and the worst crisis was yet to come. If you're enjoying this breakdown of how billion-dollar empires survive near collapse, consider subscribing to BillionTrace, because the stories behind the world's greatest fortunes are often far more dramatic than the fortunes themselves. Tesla's second near-death experience arrived in 2008, and this one nearly ended everything. The timing couldn't have been worse. Tesla was struggling with Roadster production. The global financial crisis was unfolding. Credit markets were freezing. Investors everywhere were becoming cautious, and Tesla was hemorrhaging money. The company reportedly faced severe cash shortages throughout the year. Employees worried payroll might not be met. Suppliers needed to be paid. Production delays continued. Meanwhile, Elon Musk was dealing with another disaster. SpaceX had suffered 3 consecutive rocket launch failures. Both of Musk's major companies were in crisis at the same time. At one point, Musk later stated that he was personally borrowing money for living expenses while pouring nearly all of his remaining wealth into keeping his companies alive. Then came December 2008. Tesla was running out of options. Without emergency funding, bankruptcy appeared imminent. According to multiple accounts from Tesla insiders and Musk himself, the company secured a last-minute financing round on December the 24th, 2008. Christmas Eve. The funding package included existing investors and a substantial personal contribution from Musk. The deal closed just in time. Had it failed, Tesla may not have survived into 2009. Think about that for a moment. The company that would later become one of the world's most valuable automakers was saved at the last possible minute. But surviving wasn't the same as winning. Tesla was still far from safe. And the third crisis would become the most dangerous one yet. By 2017, Tesla had already launched the Model S and Model X. The company had proven electric vehicles could compete with luxury brands. Revenue was growing, public attention was exploding. From the outside, Tesla looked unstoppable. Inside the company, however, a storm was building, the Model 3. Musk called it Tesla's chance to bring electric vehicles to the mass market. Hundreds of thousands of customers placed reservations. Expectations were enormous. But Tesla's production system wasn't ready. The company attempted to automate huge portions of manufacturing. Robots malfunctioned. Assembly bottlenecks appeared everywhere. Production targets were repeatedly missed. Instead of building thousands of vehicles per week, Tesla struggled to build enough cars to satisfy demand. The situation became so severe that Musk later described the period as production hell. And this wasn't just a manufacturing problem, it was a financial threat. Tesla had spent billions preparing for Model 3 production. If the company couldn't manufacture cars efficiently, the economics simply wouldn't work. Cash reserves began shrinking. Analysts openly questioned whether Tesla would need another bailout or capital raise. Short sellers were predicting collapse. Some investors believed bankruptcy was a real possibility. For months, pressure mounted. Employees worked around the clock. Engineers slept at the factory. Musk himself reportedly spent nights on site trying to solve bottlenecks. Then Tesla did something unexpected. Instead of slowing down, it accelerated. The company built additional assembly capacity, including a famous production line inside a massive tent structure outside its Fremont factory. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't conventional, but it worked. In mid-2018, Tesla finally reached its critical production targets. The Model 3 ramp began succeeding. Revenue surged, confidence returned, and Tesla escaped what may have been the most operationally dangerous period in its history. Here's what's fascinating. Most companies don't survive one crisis like this. Tesla survived 3. The Roadster nearly bankrupted the company before it had a viable product. The 2008 financial crisis nearly wiped it out before it could scale. And Model 3 production hell nearly crushed it after it had already become famous. At every stage, failure seemed entirely possible, yet each crisis forced Tesla to become stronger. Today, it's easy to look at Tesla's success and assume the outcome was inevitable. It wasn't. There were multiple moments when the story could have ended very differently, and that's often true for the world's greatest fortunes. When we look back at successful companies, we see the victory. We rarely see the moments when everything was hanging by a thread. If you enjoyed this investigation, hit the like button. Not because Tesla survived, but because understanding how companies survive failure is often more valuable than studying their success. And subscribe to BillionTrace for more deep investigations into how the world's biggest fortunes were built, lost, and hidden. Because behind every billion-dollar empire is a story that almost ended before it began. See you in the next one.